We recently tried Sunday roast at Toby Carvery for the very first time, and many of our viewers told us how Toby Carvery is not the ideal Sunday roast. We've had a Sunday roast at several pubs across the UK, but after hearing from many of you, you've told us that a homemade roast is so much better. So that's exactly what we're gonna try to do today. Make a proper British Sunday roast. On the menu today is a leg of lamb with roasted potatoes, roasted carrots and parsnips, and a homemade Yorkshire pudding filled to the brim with fresh homemade gravy? Welcome to our kitchen. This is kind of a small space for what we're doing. We do have kind of a small oven, but we've got, I think, everything that we need to prepare a proper British Sunday roast here in the United States. We went to the local farmer's market and picked up a locally butchered leg of lamb, which we kind of didn't have any other choice. Grocery stores in the US don't typically tend to sell lamb, at least not any of the ones around here. And we also had to go to a specialty grocery store to get parsnips because we couldn't find them anywhere else around here. We also had to order a few specialty items because they're just very uncommon here in the US. And after seeing them at places like M&S in the UK, we've been very intrigued about actually cooking with them. So I am excited to try it. We'll see how it goes. Wish us luck.
We're gonna try and show you pretty much everything that we're doing, but there was a little prep work involved because we read that for proper, well done roast potatoes, you kind of want to cook those before and let them rest in the fridge for a while. So we did that.
We also had to make an emergency run to the grocery store because I picked out potatoes that looked like British potatoes I've seen in England, but then I read online, do not use Yukon Gold. They are not as starchy as you want them to be. So I don't know, it's gonna be an experiment. If you see anything that you do not think looks like the proper British Sunday roast, please let us know, because even if we don't get it right today, we are gonna get it right at some point in the future. We'll nail it eventually.
I'm probably more of the cook in this household, but Kara did put together a spreadsheet that's trying to even out when we put things in and the correct baking temperatures because, you know, Celsius to Fahrenheit. So we'll see how this all works out.
Lamb is definitely not as common in the US as it is in the UK. I typically wouldn't even order it when we go to the UK, but I felt because it's feels so British that we decided we'd try to make it because we've never made anything like this before. And I should say we, but it's Jeremy. Jeremy's gonna be doing most of the work today. Have you ever cooked a lamb before?
I have cooked some ground lamb burger patties, but that's it. No leg of lamb or anything like that. Got our baking dish. Now all I need to do is cut up our onion and garlic a little bit before we put it in there, and then you should be able to put it together. There were apparently a lot of recipes that Kara looked up, but they all had rosemary in common, and this one says 2 sprigs or 4 sprigs if you want it stronger, so maybe we will.
The recipe we found says that you can leave unpeeled garlic and onion in it, but that, I don't know, is that right? That seems unusual to me. We're gonna peel it anyways because that's how we roll. No shortcuts in this household.
Some good sprigs of rosemary in there. I'm gonna say the mixture of everything in that pan already kind of smells good, and it wasn't even in the oven yet. Now we're gonna prepare the parsnips and carrots. We're using a recipe from the UK Food Network, and it is pretty much just honey, thyme, and salt and pepper. So let's give it a go.
Do they smell like parsley?
They smell like a carrot, but they also almost smell citrusy or something.
Because I just read online that a parsnip is related to carrot and parsley, which I thought was interesting.
Okay. I could see that, actually.
I almost was going to take a bite out of this, and I don't know why.
They all raw by a
parsnip. They do. They're they smell kind of like a carrot, but they're brighter. They have a brighter note to them. It's so interesting because I've never cooked a parsnip either, which is why we chose to make this instead of, you know, a broccoli or a green bean or a different veg option that would be common in the UK. We went with the parsnips and carrots because I don't know, I don't think we've ever really roasted carrots either, even though carrots are definitely more common here.
What I was trying to avoid is touching these that I could put honey on, but we're doing it anyway.
It's funny because I just can smell those parsnips. They are stronger than a carrot.
They're stronger than the carrot, yeah. It's pretty interesting.
Fresh grown in Arizona thyme.
Got thyme on my hands. Just throw some of that on here.
Next up, Jeremy's gonna assemble the Yorkshire puddings. We opted for the Gordon Ramsay recipe just because it was already in cups and American measurements. It just seemed easy, no temperature conversion, so that's what we're going with. A lot of you have told us about some Yorkshire pudding recipes, so if you have any special recipe you would like to share, please let us know. We encourage it. I guess that goes for anything, but specifically a couple years ago, we tried to make Yorkshire puddings ourselves for the first time before we had ever been to the UK. And we bought Aunt Bessie's, I think it was called.
Something like that, yeah.
Pre-made mix. And people told us how easy it is to make it yourselves. And yeah, it is. It's just milk and flour and eggs and water and salt and vegetable oil. I don't know.
We didn't have any muffin tins or anything, which is what we used last time we made them. So we ordered some actual Yorkshire pudding pans, and we thought they were kind of weird.
I don't know. Is that correct? Is that the right size? It just seems very shallow, and I don't know. It seems wrong, but I went back and looked at it, and it said it was also a muffin top pan, which I didn't even know was such a thing.
But I think in this recipe, there's ones that look more like muffin tins, and there's ones I think look a little more like this, so
we'll have big giant Yorkshire puddings?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, that's what I want.
Yeah,
I want to
sure.
fill that vessel with gravy.
I was afraid of gumming up our blender with putting the flour in there first, so I dumped it out, but back in it goes. Okay, if this is all that this really entails, you all were correct, and I feel really silly that we bought a mix for this the first time.
Yeah. Also, if this is all this entails, we could be making Yorkie puds all the time.
We could be. Just checked on the carrots and the parsnips. They're starting to get a little golden on some of the edges, and the roast is smelling pretty good.
I'm curious if Carly knows that we're making lamb, because lamb is her favorite. And she went from being a very lazy bones on the couch to very excited and like, hey guys, I want whatever you're making.
I get it.
It's not ready yet, but you can have some freeze-dried lamb in the meantime. Trying to cook it to temp. I think it needs to be 125 to be medium rare.
So
it's getting there. Probably another, I don't know, 15-20 minutes or so.
Probably.
All right.
It's getting close.
It's getting close. It's looking good. It's smelling good. It's almost there.
Yeah.
We're almost there.
I think we're there, almost.
We've got the Yorkshire pudding batter in the fridge. We've got the potatoes that we prepped earlier. Jeremy peeled them, sliced them, boiled them, hopefully to the right consistency, because apparently to make a good, nice, crispy roast potato, you parboil them, and then we are gonna finish them with some goose fat, which we have never used before, and I'm very excited about. But we kind of need the other stuff to finish in the oven before we can start those, because they're going to be at drastically different temperatures, and we have to get the oil really hot for both the other things in order to start them. We have a pretty small oven, but I don't know how people in the UK prepare a Sunday roast and have everything come out on time, because this is a lot.
Yeah, it is kind of.
How do you do it? What's your secret? Because we even considered air frying the carrots and parsnips just to try to alleviate oven space, but I don't think that's the proper way, so I don't know. How do you make it all work on a Sunday?
Yeah, that's 29.
Okay, so we are in the medium rare to medium well range, I think now. So okay, perfect. It said to spoon the juices onto it, and then we'll put it on a plate and cover it. These are looking pretty good. I think we're gonna cover them and hope that they stay warm enough while we make the other things. I think when we were in the UK and saw goose fat, I don't remember it being so liquefied. Does this look right to you guys? Because, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember paying attention super closely, but I thought it was a little more solidified than this. It's gotta be right. The only ingredients are goose fat and rosemary extract, so I'm sure I just misremembered. This is a little more work than we thought. Maybe we should have been doing this while we were waiting for the lamb. Making a flour and salt mixture for the potatoes because they're cold. Were we supposed to do this before they went in the fridge?
Well, this recipe didn't tell us to put it in the fridge.
Oh, that's right.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We got this.
We used a combination of recipes because a lot of things online said to put them in the fridge to get them extra crispy. This is why they come out like that. I didn't know they had flour on them. When we've had nice crisp roast potatoes, I didn't realize that this is part of it. So we need 135 grams of goose fat. Goose fat goes into the pan.
And looks like it goes in the oven for about 10-ish minutes to get hot.
Okay. I almost ordered some beef drippings because we were thinking at some point we would make proper fish and chips, and I think a lot of you guys have told us that we need to have beef drippings to make proper British chips. So you'll have to let us know. Are beef drippings better for Yorkshire puddings? And are beef drippings, or is beef dripping better for fish and chips as well? You'll have to let us know for future reference. For now, we're going with vegetable oil because that's
what we've got and what
Gordon Ramsay told us we could use. Does that look appropriate?
And more just like when we fill it with the actual batter.
Well, it says on the recipe
3/4, but these are so shallow.
They're so shallow that I think, we'll just have to be careful. I think that's what's interesting about these too, is like they don't have any kind of side to protect them. So do you spill Yorkshire puddings into your oven? You gotta be careful, I guess.
Further than.
You were really wanting to make homemade gravy.
I was thinking about it, but looking at what we have left with the juices and stuff, I don't know how much it's actually gonna make. Plus, it just seems a little involved. I think we might just be using the instant gravy.
I tried to make homemade gravy once, and it came out lumpy and weird, and when we were prepping for this, I just thought, you know what? I'm gonna buy some Bisto. I don't know, we have mint sauce because people told us that that's what you have with lamb, and we have gravy. I don't know if you're supposed to even, I mean, you gotta have gravy for your Yorkie pud, but do you put gravy on lamb? Do you make a lamb gravy? You'll have to help us out about this for the future, because I feel a little dumb about what we're supposed to do with the lamb once it's ready.
The recipe we have just pretty much said to add flour to that and cook it and then strain it, but there's pretty big pieces of rosemary and garlic and stuff in it. Is that what you do? I don't know.
I don't know, but now that we have the goose fat roasting, getting in there, I can smell it. It smells really good.
It does smell pretty good.
Goose fat's starting to smoke. Okay, all right, let's get the goose fat going. Be very, very careful. We'll flip them a couple times, so it's probably good.
The other way, doesn't it?
the place we got this recipe, Don't Go Bacon My Heart, I was just watching their video of how the potatoes turn out, and they look so good. If ours turn out a fraction of what those are, then they're gonna be amazing. Well, is that right? Oh, that seems way too full. I don't know. Is that hot enough? Maybe?
It sizzled. That one didn't, though.
Yeah, maybe we should put them back. Well, I guess we already started. Hopefully they don't spill over into our potatoes.
The downside of not having a window on our oven is it tells us not to open it for at least 15 minutes. And we just won't know how done they are, so here we go. I pose a question to all you in the UK. Is the heating element on your ovens on the top? Because this recipe said to put it at the top, but our heating element's at the bottom. Is maybe that why it's not hot enough yet? We don't really know because we haven't pulled these out yet, but I'm a little suspicious that we're gonna have to make another batch.
We have no choice but to do a little peek-see. Oh, ooh, gust of, those look alright, I think. I think they need to go a little longer, right?
I think they could be a little browner, but I think overall, they're turning out alright. That pan's interesting. But I think they look like frozen ones I've seen before, kind of, but we made them.
I have to admit, I was really hoping for like a nice, like, big, swoopy, perfectly browned thing, and I feel like I was a little bit underwhelmed to see how these turned out. But I do think if we get the oil a little hotter first, that might give it that more the poofy effect, I think. But you'll have to let us know what we're missing. Ooh, the side that's toasty is looking really nice.
Oops. Mushing a couple of them in there. So I don't think they turned out as wild as you wanted them, but I think they look like very good vessels for gravy.
Yeah, they look pretty nice. They probably could have gone a little longer. I think they're pretty good. Yeah, I guess they're getting pretty dark. And for your first attempt, I had no part in any of this, so
Fair.
Hey, I can't complain.
You can't complain. If it's terrible, it's my fault, I guess.
By the way, this is our house.
After 3 years of sort of living nowhere, we live somewhere.
We rented a little apartment in Arizona, and you know, we've never lived in a place this small, and I definitely think that we owe it to our time in Europe for making us appreciate smaller spaces, because this is just the right amount of room for us. It's a little tight in our kitchen, but...
Yeah, the kitchen's not so bad. Sometimes I wish we had a little office or something, but other than that, it's a nice little spot.
We did also open up a P.O. box. We've had quite a few people ask us about sending us treats and things like that, and please do not feel obligated to send us anything. We don't need anything, but for those of you that have asked us about it, we did finally get a P.O. box, so we will put that in the description. This is the first break you've had in several hours.
It is. Thought I'd come sit out in the not hot kitchen for a minute.
That means it's my turn to get into the kitchen. I've got a very important job to do today. They're looking pretty good.
Yeah, I think those are probably done.
I was gonna ask you if you're supposed to warm this up, but just being near the oven, it's already warm.
Fairly warm.
Yeah. Whew. It's minty. Very minty.
Yeah, when I opened the package, since we got that shipped to us, I could smell the mint before the seal was even broken.
It also smells citrusy to me.
Maybe it has lemon or something in it.
Mint, vinegar, sugar, glucose, fructose syrup, water, salt. I don't know.
Mint and vinegar?
Maybe it's the vinegar, yeah. Like somehow the mint and vinegar made me smell lemon or something, I'm not sure. But it smells nice. It smells nice. I'm curious to try it. This is what we are working with. It smells and looks fantastic. But it's missing one thing.
Your homemade gravy?
My homemade gravy, yes. I made it by hand using Bisto. Lamb is pretty tasty. That's probably, not that I eat lamb very often, but one of the better flavored lambs I've had. It's really nice.
Carrot and parsnips, alright.
I like the honey on them. They have really nice flavor. I think we probably could have cooked them a little bit longer. They're a little crunchy. These potatoes look so nice. I don't know if you can hear it, but the rest of them are still sizzling behind me in the pan.
Those are acceptable.
Not only are they nice and crispy, but the goose fat gives them a really nice flavor. But the ultimate test is the Yorkshire pudding.
That's what you're missing. At least one of the things.
God, I love Yorkshire pudding. That is so good.
That was amazing. That was as good as mine.
And I have missed that gravy. It's so simple and so great.
You gonna try the mint sauce now?
Yeah, I definitely have to try the mint sauce. I don't know how much you're supposed to put on it. Put a little dab on the plate here and just try a little bit.
Acceptable?
Yeah, it's good. I don't know if it's the vinegar. It does kind of give it a citrus vibe to me. But yeah, it's nice. It's very complimentary to the lamb. I feel like lamb can be kind of gamey. It's usually not my favorite, but I could see why something like this is really nice with it because it kind of like balances out the flavor. Yeah, it's really good.
You can really taste the rosemary, and that's a good thing. It's
Yeah,
pretty simple.
That lamb is really
But
good,
it's good,
though,
yeah.
isn't it? I think I like that better than any other lamb that I've had. It just has a really nice flavor.
Try it with the mint sauce. Not bad. Different. Not sure what I was expecting. Not really that. But I would try some more of it.
I don't think you or I are a big fan of mint things.
I am more so than you.
Maybe you are more so than me, but yeah, that's one of the nicer mint items I've had.
Yeah. No, yeah, I feel like we're all both excited about this.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, that's what I've been missing.
Goose fat for the win.
Got a parsnip. Those are just interesting because they are similar to a carrot, but they're different. But they're pretty nice, yeah. All in all, I think this is a success.
I agree. It would be rude if we didn't let you have some lamb, huh? I think Carly gives it a 10 out of 10. Yeah, it's a win. Dog approved. So what'd you think?
I think overall, I did an okay job.
I agree. I think you did a fantastic job, especially considering it was your first time. Carly says that lamb was 10 out of 10. She's still licking her chops. You'll have to let us know what you think, but I think Jeremy did a really, really nice job. Those Yorkshire puddings were really good. And the potatoes. Yeah, those potatoes. It's really a shame that goose fat is hard to find in the US because I would make potatoes like that every time if I could. When we made our Toby Carvery video, I said something along the lines of, oh, you guys don't actually eat this every Sunday.
And a lot of you said, yeah, we do. And that's a lot of work, so cheers to you.
Now it's time for a relaxing evening, watching some Doctor Who. We're on the 6th Doctor? 7th Doctor now. We'll hopefully have more information about that for you soon. Thank you for coming along on this little fun adventure today. Thank you to our patrons for supporting our channel. If you're interested in becoming a patron, we actually have a video where the very first time we went to the UK, we tried a Sunday roast, a proper Sunday roast at a pub. And that is a Patreon exclusive video. The link's in the description. And if you haven't seen our Toby Carvery video yet, you should go watch that over here because we thought it was pretty tasty, but I don't know, you'll have to let us know what you think.